Imagine a world woven with secret handshakes, ancient oaths, and coded numbers, where loyalty and betrayal dance a dangerous tango. This isn't a movie, but the real, hidden history of the 14K Triad, one of the most powerful and feared criminal organizations the world has ever known. From its roots in a desperate, war-torn China to its sprawling global network of today, the 14K's story is a chilling journey into the heart of darkness. We'll uncover the secrets behind their rituals, the brutal reality of their operations, and the relentless battles fought by law enforcement to contain their spread. Prepare to delve into a world of drug trafficking, extortion, human exploitation, and the shadowy figures who pull the strings. This is more than just a crime story. It's a window into a hidden empire, built on power, fear, and the relentless pursuit of profit. Are you ready to uncover the truth behind the shadow dragons? The story of the 14K Triad is one that intertwines with the turbulent history of 20th century China and the global spread of organized crime. It's a tale of secret societies, political upheaval, and the pursuit of power and wealth, often through illicit means. To understand the 14K, we have to go back to a time before its formal inception, to the roots of Chinese secret societies themselves. For centuries, these societies, sometimes benevolent, sometimes rebellious, have existed in China. They often served as mutual aid organizations, offering support to their members in a society where government assistance was often lacking. Some engaged in resistance against ruling dynasties, cloaked in ritual and symbolism. These societies were a complex mixture of community support and, at times, criminal activity. This foundation is crucial to understanding the fertile ground from which groups like the 14K would later spring. The direct origins of the 14K are tied to the Chinese Civil War, a brutal conflict between the nationalist Kuomintang, KMT, and the Communist Party of China. In the late 1940s, as the Communists gained the upper hand, a KMT lieutenant general named Ko Tsiu Wang found himself in Guangzhou. He wasn't ready to concede defeat. He envisioned a secret society, an anti-communist force that could operate in the shadows, resisting the impending communist takeover. This was the genesis of the 14K, although it wasn't called that initially. The organization was originally conceived as a tool of resistance, a paramilitary group with political aims. The 14 referred to the road number of the KMT headquarters where it was founded in Guangzhou, a symbolic connection to its nationalist origins. The K, in those early days, reportedly stood for Kuomintang, a clear declaration of allegiance. However, as the communists solidified their control over mainland China, the KMT, along with the fledgling 14K, were forced to flee, primarily to Hong Kong, which was then a British colony. Hong Kong in the 1950s was a vastly different place than it is today. It was a rapidly growing city, a haven for refugees fleeing the turmoil in mainland China, and a place where the rule of law was, in some areas, more suggestion than reality. This created a perfect environment for the 14K to not only survive, but to thrive. The influx of people, many of them desperate and without resources, provided a ready pool of recruits. The existing Triad societies, already present in Hong Kong, provided a model, a structure, and, often, competition. The 14K quickly shed its purely political aspirations and adapted to its new environment. While anti-communism remained a part of its ideology, the focus shifted to more immediate and profitable concerns, survival and control of territory. The organization began to engage in the classic Triad activities: extortion, gambling, prostitution, and drug trafficking. Hong Kong's unique position as a major trading port, combined with lax law enforcement in certain areas, facilitated the growth of these illegal enterprises. The original connection to the number 14 and the K for Kuomintang gradually changed as well. The K evolved to represent karat, referencing the purity of gold, signifying the perceived strength and value of the organization. This change reflects a shift in the organization's self-image, from a political resistance group to a powerful, self-sufficient criminal entity. The 14K's early growth was explosive. Its willingness to use violence, coupled with its strong organizational structure, allowed it to quickly gain dominance in certain areas of Hong Kong. Competition with other Triad groups was fierce and often bloody, leading to street battles and territorial disputes that shaped the landscape of Hong Kong's underworld. The organization's influence seeped into various aspects of life, from the control of local businesses to the operation of illegal gambling dens. The 14K became synonymous with organized crime in Hong Kong, a name that evoked fear and respect in equal measure. The group also began to establish connections beyond Hong Kong, laying the groundwork for its eventual global expansion. The seeds of a vast criminal empire were sown in the chaotic and opportunity-rich environment of post-war Hong Kong. The original mission, rooted in political opposition, was largely abandoned in favor of the pursuit of power and profit, a transformation that would define the 14K for decades to come. The structure of the 14K Triad, like that of other traditional Chinese triads, is hierarchical, yet also somewhat decentralized. It's not a monolithic corporation with a single CEO, but rather a network of interconnected subgroups, each with a degree of autonomy. This structure allows for flexibility and resilience. If one subgroup is taken down by law enforcement, the others can continue to operate. At the top, at least nominally, is the Dragon Head, or Shanchu, the overall leader of the 14K. The Dragon Head is supposed to be the ultimate authority, the decision-maker on major strategic issues. However, in reality, the power of the Dragon Head can vary significantly. Some Dragon Heads have been powerful figures who exerted considerable control, while others have been more symbolic figureheads, with real power residing in the hands of influential subgroup leaders. Below the Dragon Head is a complex hierarchy of ranks and positions, each with its own specific roles and responsibilities. One of the key positions is the 489, or Mountain Master. This title, like much of the Triad terminology, is steeped in historical and symbolic meaning, derived from ancient Triad rituals. The Mountain Master is essentially the leader of a particular subgroup or branch of the 14K. They have significant authority over their own territory and members. They are responsible for the day-to-day operations of their subgroup, including the management of criminal activities, the recruitment of new members, and the resolution of disputes. The Mountain Masters are the backbone of the 14K's organizational structure, the individuals who wield real power on the ground. Beneath the Mountain Master are several other important ranks. The 438, or Deputy Mountain Master, acts as the second in command, assisting the Mountain Master in taking over in their absence. They are often involved in the planning and execution of criminal operations. The 426, or Red Pole, is a particularly significant position. The Red Poles are the enforcers, the fighters, the individuals responsible for maintaining discipline within the group and carrying out acts of violence when necessary. They are the muscle of the organization, ensuring that orders are followed and that rivals are kept in check. Another key role is that of the 415, or White Paper Fan. The White Paper Fan is typically the advisor, the strategist, the individual who handles the financial and administrative aspects of the subgroup. They might be involved in money laundering, managing gambling operations, or negotiating deals with other criminal groups. They are the brains behind many of the operations, ensuring that the subgroup runs smoothly and profitably. The 432, or straw sandal, acts as a messenger and liaison, carrying communications between different subgroups and individuals within the 14K. They are crucial for maintaining communication and coordination within the decentralized structure of the organization. These numerical designations, like 489 and 426, are not just random numbers. They have their origins in complex numerological systems used by traditional triads, systems that imbued these roles with symbolic meaning and helped maintain secrecy. Beneath these ranked officials are the ordinary members, the soldiers, or 49s. These are the rank-and-file members who carry out the day-to-day activities of the triad, from collecting protection money to selling drugs. They are the most numerous members of the organization and are often recruited from marginalized communities or those seeking protection and a sense of belonging. Initiation into the 14K, like other triads, traditionally involves elaborate rituals. These ceremonies are steeped in symbolism and are designed to create a strong bond between the new recruit and the organization. Oaths of loyalty are sworn, blood is often spilled, and ancient traditions are invoked. These rituals serve to reinforce the idea of brotherhood and to instill a sense of fear and respect for the organization. The rituals may vary between different subgroups, but they all serve the same fundamental purpose: to create a lifelong commitment to the 14K. The 14K's activities are diverse, reflecting its adaptability and its focus on profit. Drug trafficking is, and has long been, a major source of revenue. The 14K has been involved in the trafficking of heroin, methamphetamine, and other illicit drugs, operating across international borders. They have established sophisticated networks for sourcing, transporting, and distributing drugs, often collaborating with other criminal organizations around the world. Extortion is another cornerstone of the 14K's operations. Businesses, particularly in areas where the 14K has a strong presence, are often forced to pay protection money to avoid violence or damage to their property. This practice, known as protection rackets, provides a steady stream of income and allows the 14K to exert control over local economies. Gambling, both legal and illegal, is another significant source of revenue. The 14K operates illegal gambling dens and casinos, and also has interests in legal gambling establishments. They often control the flow of money and take a percentage of the profits. Prostitution is another area where the 14K has historically been involved, controlling brothels and exploiting vulnerable individuals. Beyond these traditional triad activities, the 14K has also diversified into other areas of crime, including loan sharking, counterfeiting, and human trafficking. Loan sharking involves lending money at exorbitant interest rates, often to individuals who are unable to obtain loans through legitimate means. The 14K uses violence and intimidation to collect on these debts, often trapping borrowers in a cycle of debt and fear. Counterfeiting involves the production and distribution of fake goods, from luxury items to pharmaceuticals. This activity can generate significant profits and often involves collaboration with other criminal networks. Human trafficking, one of the most heinous crimes, involves the exploitation of individuals for forced labor or sexual exploitation. The 14K's involvement in human trafficking highlights its willingness to engage in the most ruthless forms of criminal activity. The organization's adaptability and its willingness to engage in any profitable criminal activity have allowed it to maintain its power and influence, even as law enforcement efforts have intensified. The decentralized structure makes it difficult to dismantle, and its global reach extends its influence far beyond its traditional base in Hong Kong. The impact of the 14K Triad extends far beyond the direct victims of its criminal activities. Its presence has shaped communities, influenced economies, and even played a role in international relations. In Hong Kong, the 14K's long reign of influence has left an indelible mark. Entire neighborhoods were, and in some cases still are, under the sway of the Triad. Businesses operate under the constant threat of extortion, and residents live with the knowledge that violence can erupt at any moment. This creates a climate of fear and distrust, eroding the social fabric and hindering economic development. The police, while actively combating the triads, have often faced an uphill battle, struggling with corruption within their own ranks and the triad's deeply ingrained network of informants and protectors. The economic impact is also significant. The vast sums of money generated through illegal activities are often laundered through legitimate businesses, distorting the economy and creating unfair competition. The proceeds of drug trafficking, gambling, and extortion fuel a shadow economy that operates outside the bounds of regulation and taxation. This not only deprives the government of revenue, but also creates an environment where legitimate businesses struggle to compete. The 14K's influence has also extended into the realm of popular culture. Hong Kong cinema, particularly in the 1980s and 1990s, produced a wave of triad-themed films that, while often fictionalized, reflected the very real presence of these groups in society. These films, some of which glorified triad life, contributed to the public perception of the 14K, both in Hong Kong and internationally. They created a mystique around the organization, portraying it as both powerful and dangerous. This cultural influence, while sometimes romanticized, also served to raise awareness of the triad problem, albeit in a sometimes sensationalized manner. The 14K's reach extends far beyond Hong Kong. Its involvement in international drug trafficking has made it a player on the global stage. Heroin, Southeast Asia's Golden Triangle, for example, has been transported and distributed by 14K networks across the globe, contributing to drug addiction and related social problems in numerous countries. This international activity has put the 14K on the radar of law enforcement agencies worldwide, leading to international collaborations aimed at disrupting its operations. The 14K's involvement in human trafficking also has devastating international consequences, contributing to the global exploitation of vulnerable individuals. The political influence of the 14K, while diminished from its early days as an anti-communist organization, should not be entirely discounted. While its primary focus is now on profit, the 14K has, at times, been suspected of involvement in political activities, such as vote buying or intimidation. Its ability to mobilize large numbers of people and its control over certain sectors of the economy can give it a degree of leverage, particularly at the local level. The infiltration of legitimate businesses also provides a means of influence, allowing the triad to exert pressure on decision-makers and to protect its interests. The impact on individuals caught up in the 14K's web is often devastating. Victims of extortion live in constant fear, forced to pay a significant portion of their earnings to the triad. Those involved in drug addiction, fueled by the 14K's trafficking operations, face ruined lives and broken families. Victims of human trafficking suffer unimaginable exploitation and abuse. The violence associated with the 14K, both internal and external, leaves a trail of physical and psychological scars. The organization's activities create a cycle of violence and despair that affects not only the direct victims, but also their families and communities. The long-term consequences of the 14K's presence are profound, undermining trust in institutions, hindering economic progress, and creating a society where fear and violence are commonplace. Even as law enforcement efforts have intensified, The legacy of the 14K continues to affect Hong Kong and other areas where it has operated. The fight against the 14K Triad has been a long and arduous one, involving law enforcement agencies across the globe. Sweeping operations, often involving hundreds of officers and coordinated across multiple jurisdictions, have been conducted to target the Triad's leadership and disrupt its activities. These operations, often dubbed with evocative names, represent a significant commitment of resources and a recognition of the threat posed by the organization. One of the key challenges in combating the 14K is its decentralized structure. Taking down one subgroup does not necessarily cripple the entire organization. The network of interconnected cells allows the Triad to adapt and regenerate, even after significant setbacks. Another challenge is the Triad's code of silence, the Omerta, which makes it difficult to obtain evidence and testimony from members. The fear of retaliation is a powerful deterrent, preventing individuals from cooperating with law enforcement. The infiltration of law enforcement agencies by Triad members, while not as widespread as it once was, has also been a persistent problem. Corruption within the ranks can undermine investigations and compromise operations, allowing the Triad to evade justice. International cooperation has become increasingly important in the fight against the 14K. Because the Triad operates across borders, law enforcement agencies must work together to share information, track suspects, and coordinate arrests. Organizations like Interpol play a crucial role in facilitating this cooperation, providing a platform for communication and collaboration. Mutual legal assistance treaties between countries allow for the exchange of evidence and the extradition of suspects, making it more difficult for Triad members to escape prosecution. The focus of law enforcement efforts has shifted over time. In the early days, the emphasis was often on street-level enforcement, targeting low-level members and disrupting visible criminal activities. While this remains important, there has been a growing recognition that a more strategic approach is needed to dismantle the organization. This includes targeting the leadership, disrupting financial networks, and seizing assets. Financial investigations have become a crucial tool in combating the 14K. By tracing the flow of money and seizing assets obtained through illegal activities, law enforcement can cripple the Triad's ability to operate. Money laundering is a key target of these investigations, as the Triad uses sophisticated methods to conceal the origins of its wealth. Undercover operations have also played a significant role in combating the 14K officers infiltrate the organization, gathering intelligence and evidence that can be used to prosecute high-ranking members. These operations are extremely dangerous and require a high level of skill and dedication. The use of technology has also become increasingly important. Surveillance techniques, wiretaps, and data analysis are used to track Triad activities and gather evidence. The internet and social media have also become a battleground, as the Triad uses these platforms to communicate, recruit members, and conduct illegal activities. Law enforcement agencies are increasingly using cyber tools to monitor and disrupt these online operations. Despite these efforts, the 14K Triad remains a significant force in the world of organized crime. While its power and influence may have waned in some areas, it continues to operate in Hong Kong, Southeast Asia, and other parts of the world. Its adaptability and resilience have allowed it to survive numerous crackdowns and to adapt to changing circumstances. The current situation of the 14K is one of flux. It faces increased pressure from law enforcement, both in Hong Kong and internationally. Competition from other criminal organizations, including rival triads and newer groups, also poses a challenge. The changing demographics of Hong Kong, with a younger generation less drawn to traditional triad structures, may also impact the 14K's ability to recruit new members. However, The 14K's deep roots in certain communities, its vast financial resources, and its global network ensure that it remains a force to be reckoned with. The Triad has shown a remarkable ability to adapt to changing circumstances, shifting its focus to new criminal activities and exploiting new technologies. Its involvement in cybercrime, for example, is a growing concern, as the Triad uses the internet to conduct scams, launder money, and engage in other illegal activities. The rise of cryptocurrencies has also provided new opportunities for the 14K to conceal its financial transactions and evade law enforcement. The future of the 14K is uncertain. It is likely to remain a significant player in organized crime for the foreseeable future, but its power and influence may continue to evolve. The ongoing efforts of law enforcement, coupled with social and economic changes, may gradually weaken the organization, but its complete eradication is unlikely. The legacy of the 14K will continue to shape Hong Kong and other areas where it has operated. The fight against the Triad is not just a law enforcement issue, it is a societal one. Addressing the root causes of Triad membership, such as poverty, lack of opportunity, and social exclusion, is crucial to preventing future generations from being drawn into the organization. Community outreach programs, educational initiatives, and job creation efforts can help to break the cycle of violence and crime. The story of the 14K is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers of organized crime and the enduring challenge of combating it. It highlights the importance of international cooperation, the need for strong law enforcement, and the crucial role of communities in resisting the influence of criminal organizations. The fight against the 14K is far from over, but the ongoing efforts of law enforcement and the growing awareness of the Triad problem offer hope that its power can be diminished and its impact mitigated. The battle continues, not just against the 14K, but against the very conditions that allow such organizations to thrive. The story of the 14K Triad, the Shadow Dragons, is a complex tapestry of history, violence, and resilience. While the forces of law and order continue their tireless efforts to dismantle this criminal empire, its legacy continues to resonate, a stark reminder of the enduring power of organized crime. The future remains unwritten. Will the 14K adapt and survive, or will the combined pressures of global law enforcement and societal change finally break its grip? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The story of the 14K is far from over, and its impact will continue to be felt across the globe for years to come. What are your thoughts on the 14K's future? Do you think law enforcement can ever truly eradicate such a deeply entrenched organization? Share your opinions, theories, and any questions you have in the comments below. We love hearing from you, and your insights help shape the conversation. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to EW True Crime Confessions channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming deep dives into the world's most fascinating, and sometimes terrifying, hidden histories. We'll see you in the next video.